check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
What's up, guys? What's up? Welcome back to For the Win. It is Happy Thanksgiving week. Donnie, how you doing?
Doing very good. Excited, ready, turkey, football. I mean, what more can you want in life?
The
Hanging out with my
American
boys?
dream, man. The American dream. Alpha Dog Bets, we missed you last week. Welcome back this week. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. Glad to be back here. Excited to talk shop with the two of you.
All right, beautiful. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We are here because of Bookmakers Review. Please check us out on YouTube, like and subscribe to us on our channel. You can definitely follow us on all our social media accounts. That's at BMR or Bookmakers Review. And let's go, man. Let's get into this week. Let's go, Wizard. All right. So the first game here, it was Sunday morning. Supposed to be a really good game. Colts and the Bills in Buffalo. The Colts kind of took it to them, Donnie. 41-15. Any thoughts or analysis here?
I thought it was a fantastic game plan by Frank Reich and the Colts here. Who would have thought like a dome team would be able to go outdoors and dominate the Buffalo Bills in their own building in bad weather? Well, here we go. The Colts looking like they are a strong team heading down the backstretch. A little bit disappointing on the Buffalo Bills, but I have a feeling that we think those Buffalo Bills are going to bounce back this week.
I like that. I was on Buffalo personally. It was a bad loss for me, and every time I bet against Carson Wentz, we get the good Carson. So hopefully the Bills kind of right their ship. Alpha Dog Bets. I was on the Bears. It was another brutal loss for me. 16-13 against the Ravens. There was no Lamar Jackson in this game. What do you think about the Bears and the Ravens?
I think that the Bears are in a lot of trouble. There's a lot of kind of rumors going around that Nagy may be gone from the Bears soon, but I definitely think their offense is in trouble. They haven't looked great. And Huntley did a great job filling in for the Ravens. I mean, he has a very similar style play to Lamar Jackson. So it was a good transition. They were able to get the win late. I was on the Ravens, and I teased it down, so I was happy to get the W there.
Nice. Let's move on to this next game here. I'll take it. It was my play of the week. They almost blew it in the end, but the Vikings won 34-31 against the Green Bay Packers. It was an awesome NFC North battle. Donnie, did you get to catch this game?
Yeah, I got to catch it and also cash a ticket on that at +2. And it's one of those, the same way we take a look. It's like, hey, man, we got an easy one in our pocket. Look how well the Vikings are playing. Oh, and then all of a sudden you say, whoa. Here comes Aaron Rodgers. Why did I bet the Vikings against Aaron Rodgers? But it all worked out in the end. We thought the Vikings were the better team all week with weapons on both sides of the football and being at home. Just enough to get it done. But, hey, cash the ticket all the more.
Donnie, I'm going to stick with you. You're our resident Eagles fan. 40-29. The Eagles dropped 40 points at home at the Link. Are you excited for this Eagles offense moving forward?
I like the way it looks, and hey, sometimes you just have to do what works, and that's running the football. It might not be the sexiest thing to do, running for over 200 yards. You might want to pass for over 350, but if Jalen Hurts continues to use his legs and his arm in a combination, along with that big, nasty offensive line, don't stop what's not working here. 25 points, 30 points, 40 points over the past month here. Routine for the Eagles. Who would have thought that at the beginning of the season? Good stuff here.
All right, and moving on to this game, it was supposed to be the game of the week. Two marquee franchises, two marquee quarterbacks in Dak Prescott and Patrick Mahomes. Who would have thought? 0 touchdowns combined for both of these guys. Alpha Dog Bets, KC won 19-9. It was a big under game. Are you surprised at the result here?
I was surprised at the result. I thought the Cowboys offense would be able to piece up the Chiefs secondary a lot better than they did. Thought they'd be able to take it deep to CD, hit some long home run plays. They just were not able to. Steve Spagnuolo is a good defensive coordinator. As a Giants fan, I had the pleasure of having him for both of the Super Bowls I've been able to see. So his Spags turned it up against the Cowboys. He did a great job, and the Chiefs had a big win.
Yeah, the Chiefs defense, low-key, has been playing a lot better in the last month. There is a lot of improvement there. Could be a team to back moving forward. They're going to start covering. All right, Sunday night, Donnie, we had the Steelers and the Chargers. This ended up being the game of the week, in my opinion. The Chargers won 41-37 at home. Herbert finally covered in that stadium. How do you feel about Herbert and the Steelers?
Yeah, it was an interesting game overall because you didn't know what you really get out of Big Ben coming back off that COVID list. He performed very well. You got Chase Claypool back. He looked good in that game, but it was always about getting back to Justin Herbert at quarterback. And you also said, hey, you got to be able to take advantage of the Pittsburgh Steelers when their defense is banged up. Herbert sincerely and certainly did that. I believe it was 41 points they scored in the fourth quarter combined. That's astronomical.
Yeah, I think Alpha and I were leaning the under there. It definitely did not hit a lot of points there. Alpha, all right, Monday night. Our resident Giants fan, I'm so sorry about this. I have to go to you. This was the easiest play of the week for me. I was on the Bucs, very, very chalk. The Giants had 10 points, but 7 of those were gifted by Tom Brady. Really, Mike Evans on that, missed catch there. 30-10, Tampa Bay with the dominating win. Giants fans? Are you guys back into the lottery, the draft mode? Like, what's going on here?
We haven't left. I mean, we have two top 6 picks in the draft because the Giants have the Bears first rounder. And yet again, guys, another beautiful football season where us Giants fans by week 10 or 11 are fully sold. We are fully rooting for us to lose because this organization does not put quality players and a quality team or quality coaches on the field. Extremely frustrating being a Giants fan. At least they got rid of Jason Garrett. It's a start, but the organization has just been a dumpster fire for years. So, yet again, guys, let's go Giants losing because I needed the draft picks.
Nice. All right, Wizard, let's go ahead and get into this week's slate. It is Thanksgiving week. There's going to be 3 big games tomorrow on Thursday. I did a little nice surprise for Donnie here. I decided to put Jalen Hurts as our main picture.
I saw
all right, let's get into the first game tomorrow. The Bears and the Lions. I don't think people are really going to watch this game. I think they're going to have Thanksgiving lunch and just have it on TV and not really pay attention, right, Donnie?
You know what's interesting about this? Yes, and I've said for years, I still have no idea why Detroit continues to show up on Thanksgiving. I don't care about tradition, and the tradition here. Move the Detroit Lions off of it. But I guess if you're going to put a game on at 12:30 East Coast time, it might as well be Detroit, where everybody's probably traveling to the dinner. Hey, did you catch the score of the game? Yeah, Detroit got wiped out in this one. This one will be a little bit closer here, but also I don't understand why, to be honest with you. FanDuel opened up at a 4.5, got down to 3. Some other books out here, like DraftKings, sitting there 2.5 minus 115. PointsBet here in New Jersey, 2.5 minus 115. I'm sorry. I think Detroit is a really bad football team. Now, also, as we talked about possibility of Matt Nagy being released after this game, you have to question where the Bears' mindset is. But as long as Andy Dalton is the quarterback, a veteran guy, anybody can score points against Detroit. I think overall Detroit has the least amount of talent in the entire NFL. I'm going to roll with the Bears in this game. I think they cover that 2.5 point line wherever you're shopping and getting it at. I think they win this football game. I would be shocked if Detroit even wins a game this year, gentlemen.
Yeah, I love that, Donnie. When I look at, a game or a day of football, there's 3 games, obviously, tomorrow. So is it going to be all favorites? Is it going to be all underdogs? Is it going to be all overs? Things like that. I think it's always usually a mix. So here, I do like the favorite here. I think Chicago with Andy Dalton, if he had played the entire game last week, I think the Bears easily cover. Yeah, so I agree with Donnie here. All right. Alpha Dog Bets, Vegas. We talked about Vegas and their energy in that new stadium, but they're going to be on the road. Dallas always has that home, Thanksgiving game. Huge advantage for them. Right now it's a 7.5 point spread. Tyron Smith is in for Dallas, and it sounds like CeeDee Lamb is making his way back to the starting lineup. Alpha Dog Bets, are you on Dallas here, or do you see a different angle?
I am on Dallas here, but I do have a different angle as well. So to answer your question, it's a little bit of both. I'm going to jump a little ahead here, guys. I'm teasing the Dallas Cowboys down to a 1-point line. It's a 6-point teaser. Give me them with the Bills. Both teams just essentially have to win. I think they're both going to get it done. So give me the teaser. Give me the Cowboys at a 1 line, and also give me the Bills at just a pick 'em with the teaser. I think that's going to cash easily for us.
All right. I think one side of caution here, again, I am a Cowboys fan. These are the games where they kind of disappoint you. So I don't know. I know the line started at 7. It's now at 7.5. They're getting all their horses back, especially Tyron Smith, who is a big player for them. But I wouldn't be too sure about backing Dallas. All right, let's go into that nightcap, Donnie. This should be the game of the night. Buffalo coming off a big dominating loss. They're traveling to New Orleans and that crazy, stadium, that dome there. Trevor Siemian is still the starting quarterback for the Saints. I believe the Bills now are a 6-point favorite, steaming road favorite here. Which side do you like?
Yeah, I like the Buffalo Bills here. It might be a little bit square, but, you just watch last week of what the Saints are capable of on offense. They scored 29 points, but a lot of those were gifted points here. You saw the fumble early in the game by Miles Sanders inside the 5-yard line. Quite frankly, if the Eagles don't fumble that ball, I don't know how many points New Orleans actually scores, and if they were even interested in being in that game. It looked like they were ready to pack up and go on the bus. But looking at this game moving forward, the reason why I like the Buffalo Bills isn't necessarily that the Bills should be able to just go out and outscore the New Orleans Saints. The simple fact is, from a Saints offensive perspective, number one, it's still Trevor Siemian at quarterback. They're still banged up on the offensive line. Alvin Kamara is not going to play. Good chance that Mark Ingram doesn't play in this game. So you're going to go with Tony Jones Jr., and you finally saw the emergence of a tight end in their offense. And Adam Troutman, he goes down versus the Philadelphia Eagles last week. So where are the weapons at the score against the Buffalo Bills? I think Josh Allen has a good enough game in the Dome. So even if we're looking at a lower scoring game, if that could be 24-17, 24-14, this is a Buffalo Bills team that should be able to go down to the Dome and handle their business. Give me Buffalo minus the 6 in this one here, AC.
I love that. I love that so much, Donnie. All right, let's move forward to Sunday morning. Alpha Dog Bets. Sunday morning, but this could be the game of the week here. We have two really good teams battling. We have Tennessee, who's sitting at 8-3. They're 7-4 against the spread. New England's going to be at home. They're also 7-4. They've won 5 straight games. Alpha Dog Bets. Do you continue to ride that wave, or do you like the Titans in this one?
So I'm actually on a total in this one. As you know, if you guys have watched this show a lot, I've been very high on both these teams throughout the course of the year. I like the under 44 guys. I think that the Titans are going to be running the ball, and they don't have all their weapons. As we know, Derrick Henry is out. I think that the Patriots are also going to want to limit their possessions, and Bill Belichick does a great job of taking away your best weapon. So I think we're going to have a running game on both sides and keep it low. I think the Patriots get it done, but I feel a lot more comfortable in the total at the under 44. I
actually love that play, Alpha Dog Bets. This is a love play for me. I can't say it's a VIP as of right now, but I do like that angle. It's one of those games where Bill Belichick is definitely going to dirty up the game and just keep the ball out of the Tennessee Titans' hands. And honestly, it could be a really, really low-scoring game. So I like that a lot. All right, let's move on to the next one, and we'll have all three of us comment because it is the Eagles and the Giants. I'll start with our big Eagles fan and Donnie. Eagles are rolling right now. How do you feel about this battle here on Sunday?
Yeah, it's been interesting to watch the Eagles' point spreads getting a lot of respect from the bookmakers over the past couple weeks. It wasn't really able to jump in, but last week, midweek, the minute I saw that left tackle down for the Saints, right tackle down for the Saints, Alvin Kamara down, I said, sign me up here. So I got a money line price of minus 130 on the Eagles. It wasn't even the best price. It ended up closing around a 150 to 155 money line, but I didn't see any way, shape, or form that the Saints were able to come into Philadelphia with that offense and do a lot of damage, and the Eagles were sensational, running on the #1 overall rush defense with ease. Now, we flip it over. It's a division game. It's always a rivalry game. It's hard to win on the road anywhere in the NFL, particularly when you're playing your division rivals. But having said that, and it hurt my feelings on the Giants because I didn't care if they won the game on Monday night. I just needed them to get the 17 points. And if they did, the cash register would have went off in the right side household, and I would have been a happy guy if that game ended with just 17 points here. Wasn't the case. So now you try to equate it to what's going to happen here against the Philadelphia Eagles. The most important thing for me is, what am I getting out of Daniel Jones? He was horrendous on Monday. I mean, they had a 3-man pass rush getting home all night. Looked like he was so disturbed, running out of the pocket, throwing terrible passes. If I am going to get a quarterback whose psyche is a little bit broken here, and now with a new offensive coordinator, I don't see any way we could take the Giants this one. Now, am I running to the window to take the Eagles minus 3.5 in a walk? No, I'm not. But if I can get a price that maybe settles in, if I can get a 3 later in the week with the Eagles, I'll look that direction. But as of right now, no wagers in on the game. But it's really hard for me, guys, to take the Giants after looking at what they just did against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
All right, before we get to Alpha Dog Bets, I know you're chomping at the bit there, but let me go ahead and give you guys some numbers. Jason Garrett just got fired. They were only averaging 18.9 points,
Brutal.
One of the worst offenses in the league. Point differential of close to 6 points. They are 5-5 against the spread. They're sitting 3-7 overall, but they have been covering about half of their games. And at home, they're 2-3 against the spread. So they're a decent team at home. They do have some outside weapons with Saquon, and I love Tony. He is a young talent there. But Alpha Dog Bets, is this a Giants play, or are you going to lay off?
Well, as you know, I don't bet on Giants games. Them losing is enough to disappoint me. If I also lost my money on them, I don't know what I would do. But here's a fun stat I found earlier on the Giants receiving game. Speaking about Daniel Jones, the Giants' top 2 wide receivers, who on paper are Kenny Golladay and Kadarius Toney, have a combined 0 touchdowns on the season. Starting left blindside tackle Andrew Thomas has 1 touchdown, which is more than both of them combined. Garrett's gone. We have Freddie Kitchens now calling the plays. He's had a lot of experience doing it, and he's done a good job doing it previously. I just agree with Donnie here. I don't know how you could take the Giants until you see that offense under Freddie Kitchens. If it looks better, if they're opening it up and Daniel Jones is able to use his legs, besides just rolling out to the right and throwing it to the ground, which has been horrible, spread it out, do it the right way. But I do think the Eagles get this done. I'm not taking it, but I do think the Eagles get it done. AC, tell me why the Giants are terrible and why you're all over the Eagles.
No, I'm laying off this game. It's a big NFC East division battle, like Donnie alluded to.
Yeah.
And honestly, those divisional dogs usually bark, but I'm gonna lay off. Philly is the way superior team. Jalen Hurts is actually rolling. I think it was 3 games ago in that second half against the Chargers. He's been a completely different quarterback since that time because he's using his feet a lot more. I think he's going to do a lot of damage on the ground against the Giants. So there's no way I can back the New York Giants. And then as a Cowboys fan, I can't back the Eagles. So, all right, let's go ahead and move to this next game. And I'll stay with you, Alpha Dog Bets. Both quarterbacks are rolling right now. Tom Brady obviously just torched the Giants. And then the Colts torched the Bills defense. Right now, they're going back to Indianapolis, where the Colts have covered they're 3-3 against the spread at home, but they're 7-4 overall against the spread. They are a great team. Both offenses humming. Alpha Dog Bets, how do you see this game going?
As you know, I am a huge totals guy. So what do you think I'm looking at in this spot right off the bat?
Probably an over.
I'm looking at the under, guys. I think that the Colts are going to be feeding Jonathan Taylor, and they're going to try and limit the possessions of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That was the Giants' game plan this week. Clearly, it didn't work, but that is the recipe to beating that team. You need to get them to slowly move down the field, create a red zone turnover, or create a field goal attempt, and you need to score touchdowns. So I think the Colts are going to do a great job of containing the ball, controlling the clock, and running the ball. With Jonathan Taylor, who had another game of 4 touchdowns last week, I think they keep it away from the Bucs, and the game stays close and goes considerably under that 53-point total.
All right. There are a few other games that afternoon, but I want to touch on this game, Donnie. It's going to be one of the marquee matches of the weekend. Stafford, Rodgers, 2 of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. And honestly, Stafford is one of the front runners right now for MVP. The Rams are traveling to Green Bay. They are right now a favorite. I think it opened up as a +1, +1.5 dog. Right now on Wednesday evening, they are a 1-point favorite on the road against Aaron Rodgers. How do you see this game going?
If you're just looking at the line, that's a stone cold Rams line to me, guys. Like, you see the Rams on the road at Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers, who's going to start, and say, whoa, Aaron Rodgers is actually getting points at home. So against the line movement is what I'm looking at here. But again, if you're looking to just read it, you're just going to take the Rams. But sometimes that wins. Sometimes it doesn't win. The way I look at this football game, you had a Rams team come into the bye week. They weren't playing good football on offense the past 2 weeks. Maybe they have a chance to get right, study some tape on Green Bay, Matthew Stafford, take a deep breath. All right, we're going to go on the road, see what we can do. But also keep in mind, this is a dome team from California coming to the Midwest here and playing in Green Bay, 35-degree temperatures, 15-mile-an-hour winds. Aaron Rodgers does that in his sleep. They're not going to be bruised up for this game. And, you come out of the tunnel like, hey, Green Bay's out here with no sleeves on, and you look at the Rams all bundled up. That could be a difference in this game. But also keep in mind, I did see the practice reports here for Green Bay. Aaron Jones did return to practice. Will he play in the game? Maybe, maybe not. But if he does play and makes a miraculous, recovery and is back in there, that's going to really help that Green Bay offense. But sometimes it's just so simple, and I don't want to outsmart myself. Green Bay is at home with Aaron Rodgers. I have to go. I don't care if it's square. I have to go that way.
Yeah,
I have a question, Donnie.
That makes a lot of sense for me. Before we get to you, Alpha, I want to touch on that a little bit. So Donnie's completely right. They are 4-0 against the spread at home. They're 9-2 against the spread overall. They're the best cover team in the NFL. The Rams have a great record. They're 7-3, but they've only covered 4 of their 10 games. Alpha Dog Bets, sorry, go ahead, man. I like Green Bay here, even though the line is screaming Rams to me.
Do we have any concerns at all about Aaron Rodgers' foot? I know he has a fractured toe, and that defensive line is pretty good. If they bang him up and hit him pretty hard, do you have any concerns that Jordan Love could come back in the game, especially if they go down and they have the bye the following week? I think they could pull Aaron Rodgers early, don't risk a major injury, and just let this game go. We've seen that happen in the past. I mean, what do you guys think about the injury? Is that any concern in betting this game?
It's not really a concern for me overall here. And the reason why I say that, Alpha, is because this game means so much to playoff seeding. You lose this game, the Rams now have the edge up where instead of you being at home possibly for the NFC Championship game, it might end up in LA. But you have a very good point here. If you're looking for a defense that's built to stop a very good NFL offense, it's the Rams pushing the pocket up the middle. So if you can't get out of the way here, you know who's coming up the middle? Aaron Donald. Guess who's coming on the outside now? Von Miller. And also, you have one of the best wide receivers in football, Devontae Adams. You know the Rams have? Maybe the best cover corner in the NFL, Jalen Ramsey. Great game setting up here on Sunday for sure, boys.
The best one there is Trayvon Diggs, but we'll get to that later. All right, Sunday night here. This was actually a matchup last year, I believe, that ended up being the game of the year. This was one of those games where I think Lamar Jackson left the game, came back, had an amazing comeback. But we're talking about the Browns traveling to Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson came out today and said he is 120% playing in this game. Right now, it's opened up at a 5.5-point favorite in the favor of the Ravens. It's gone down to 3.5 points. That line movement is favoring now the Browns. I'll start with Alpha Dog Bets. Do you believe more in Baker or Lamar in this game on Sunday night?
Well, let me just first start off by saying, as you know, that I am not a Baker guy. I don't believe in anything that Baker's doing. I think he's a little too banged up and they really need to sit him. This is another spot I love the under guys. Both of these teams are heavily run-powered offenses. You can get the under at 46 right now. I think that's insanely high for a Sunday night primetime game. I know we've seen a lot of primetime games go over, but both these teams are going to want to control possession and run the ball. So I'm going to take the under 46, and I'm pretty confident in this play.
Donnie, what are your thoughts on Sunday night?
I don't know what I'm missing here with this line, honestly. I mean, they opened up at 5 at the FanDuel Sportsbook. They're down to 3.5. And the one thing that we're waiting on is what? Is Lamar Jackson going to be healthy? Well, it certainly sounds like he's going to be healthy for this game. Also, keep in mind last week, didn't have Marquise Brown. He's probably going to be back for this game, along with Bateman, along with Watkins, and a full go. Lamar Jackson at home in Baltimore. I didn't like anything I've seen over the past couple weeks here out of the Cleveland Browns. And it seems like Baker Mayfield, I like Baker Mayfield when he's healthy with weapons that are eligible here. Now, Nick Chubb, certainly a buck to over 100 yards last week. Looks like Kareem Hunt has been activated. We'll see if he gets back into the game this weekend. But I can't trust a quarterback that has so many injuries and a wide receiver core that's so banged up. This isn't at home in Cleveland, boys. This is on the road in Baltimore. I think Baltimore can get this done by 7. If Lamar Jackson is healthy, they will get this done by 7.
I like that. All right, moving to our final game of the week. This is Thanksgiving week, one of the weeks that we all look forward to in the NFL season. But on Monday night, Russell Wilson and the Seahawks are traveling to Washington to play the football team. Right now, football team are a 1 to 1.5 point favorite, depending on your book. Actually, I see some at 2 even. I've been fading the Seahawks all year, guys, whether it's Geno Smith or Russell Wilson. I think it's a really bad team, to be honest. I know they have a lot of big names, but that team with their talent just doesn't really mesh to me. I think the Seahawks are going to go into Washington and get dominated again this week. So, Alpha Dog Bets, how do you feel about the Monday Night Football game?
Well, I feel completely opposite of you. I love the Seahawks this week. I am not very high on the Washington football team. I think the Seahawks are going to make a late run here. I really do. I think they're going to make a late push for the playoffs and try and get that second wild card. Russell Wilson coming back. They are getting fully healthy. They lost Chris Carson for the year, but I do like Alex Collins filling in. I think he's a good running back. He doesn't really turn the ball over too much, and I think Seattle grinds this one out.
All right, we'll move to Donnie Betts. How do you feel about the Monday night game? It is the final game of the week.
Yeah, it's an interesting game overall because if you would have said this at the beginning of the season, let's just say week 2 or week 3, it's going to be a 1-point line here where Seattle's going to get one from Washington. Sign me up on Seattle. But something's broken. And I always take a look at, the building of the house and the fracture of the foundation, which has always been strong in Seattle. Something's wrong with Russell Wilson. Maybe he came back a week or two too early. I'd give him a mulligan for a bad performance when he played against the Green Bay Packers, but I can't give him another mulligan for the performance that he had last week. Now going on the road, and I disagree with the playoff run here coming for Seattle. Usually they are in the playoff run. I think they're a dead team walking right now. Back-to-back nice wins here by the Washington football team and maybe getting Curtis Samuel back at wide receiver. I think Washington wins this game close at home, and I do see a little bit lower of a scoring game. So if we're looking at 46, 47, depending on where you're shopping at, maybe an under is in the norm for this one as well for me.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those games where everyone's going to be hungover for Thanksgiving. They're going to put the game on and they're going to fall asleep. I think it's going to be a boring game. I think
A
Washington is going to win.
snoozer.
Yeah, like a 14-11, 14-10 type of game. I like Washington. All right, let's go into the best bets, Alpha.
All right, guys, let's go into this week's best bets, the moment you guys have all been waiting for. I'm going to kick us off with my three. First best bet's going to be the Bills -6. That is my favorite play of the week, guys. But also remember, I'm also taking the teaser of the Bills and the Cowboys where they basically both have to win. So I'm combining both of those to my first best bet of the week. My second best bet's going to be the Steelers-Bengals under 46.5. I think that one's going to cruise under. And I'm also taking the Chargers -2.5.
All right, I'll go ahead and do mine. Chargers is my favorite bet of the week. I think Herbert is going to finally win 2 games in a row. He's an elite quarterback, guys. I think he's really made a lot of strides. If that coaching staff gives him the support that he needs, whether that's play calling, scheming, game planning, I think the Chargers are going to be a really good team to really to be hard out in the playoffs. And then that teaser that Alpha alluded to, that's actually one of my bets. The Cowboys and the Bills, very, very square here, but I don't think any of those teams are losing, especially with Tyron Smith back for Dallas. And then it's a great bounce back spot for the Bills. And I know Donnie alluded to this earlier. If you're just looking at the line, if you're just reading that line, it is a Rams screamer. I'm going to take the bait here. I don't know why Green Bay is and again, this line has moved a lot. Green Bay currently is +1, so we can change it to the Rams -1 if you guys want. But I do like LA to go into Green Bay and get a big convincing win.
All right, 3-pack for me up on the board. So last week, 2-1, which is a nice little debut here for me. So let's keep the good times rolling here. And hey, you'll take 2-1 each and every week. I'm going to go in order of days and also time. We're going to start out on the nightcap here on Thursday night, which is Thanksgiving. I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills laying the 6 points on the road. We already stated it before. I just think the firepower is too much for the Buffalo Bills. Even if New Orleans has a pretty good defensive stand here, I don't think they can return fire with that offense. If you don't have weapons, if you don't have the Jimmies and the Joes, as they like to say, you're not going to win football games in the NFL. I'm going Bills here by a touchdown. Let's get to the Sunday card, 1 o'clock, Carolina and Miami. Cam Newton is back. I didn't love his performance last week, and I know he's going to learn a little bit more of the playbook as it goes along, but I think I can pencil in Christian McCaffrey and also Cam Newton on the road here for 20 points or more in this game. Also from a Miami perspective, got a little bit of bad news today since we have to put these plays out a little bit early, but I'm going to stick with it. I still think it gets done. I was hoping Will Fuller and or Devontae Parker would come back, but it looks like they might need more time. Still no excuses here for the Miami Dolphins. They should also approach 20 points. I'm going to go with the over 41.5 in that game, and then if we get down to Minnesota and San Francisco, I like Minnesota. Took them last week, but I like San Francisco even more this week. Getting healthier as they go. Jimmy Garoppolo playing good football. I think the San Francisco 49ers can get it done on, actually, prime time here, East Coast 425. I think they can cover that 3-point line and beat the Minnesota Vikings here in a big tilt because that game is going to go a long way to decide who possibly gets one of those wild card positions.
Beautiful. All right, Wizard, let's go ahead and get into the questions of the week. We had 4 awesome questions. I'll take the first one here, and then Donnie, you could do the number 2. All right, number 1 from our mutual friend. We have a good relationship with her at Girl Who Bets. Will the Chargers be contenders? I kind of alluded to it. I think Herbert definitely is a quarterback for a contending team. I don't know if that team top to bottom is ready. I kind of question their coaching staff. I kind of question their game planning. They have a lot of weird losses or a lot of weird performance this year. I think it is a step in the right direction from last season, but I can't call them contenders yet. Alpha, how do you feel about the Chargers?
I feel the exact same way. There's too many questions on the defensive side of the ball. And with the coaching staff, I think the Chargers will be contenders in the next couple of years. But for this year, I think they're just under the contender mark. But they are a team to watch for sure.
Beautiful. Let's go to question number 2, Wizard. All right. This is from Old Man Mac. I missed it there. Okay. With the injuries to the Saints, do you think there will be more snaps and higher offense for the Bills? Donnie, you kind of mentioned it. It's actually one of your best bets, but let's elaborate some more. How do you feel about that Thursday night game tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't think it really matters what the Saints actually bring to the table here, because when you're a team like the Buffalo Bills that has high expectations on A, winning your division, which now the New England Patriots are right behind you, B, being a top overall seed in the AFC, and, after that, winning a Super Bowl, or at least making it to a Super Bowl. I think they're going to have a really good defensive effort in this game. But if you're asking, like, if the Saints, don't perform all that well in offense, is it better for a higher-powered Bills offense? I think they're going to be high-powered either way here. And high-powered doesn't necessarily mean we got to get 40 points, right, guys? High-powered mean get into the high 20s, maybe a touchdown or more, double-digit win by this one. But those injuries are going to add up, and maybe you do get better field position for the Buffalo Bills in this game. So I tend to agree with this, but I still think whether or not the offense is sound for New Orleans, Buffalo's going to handle their business.
Alpha, I think the three of us all align on the Bills side this week.
We do.
So let's go ahead and just play the debate game. What can happen? Like, what do the New Orleans Saints have to do to cover and potentially win that game? I'll start with you, Alpha.
I'm going to be completely honest with you here. To cover, they need to create turnovers, get pressure, but I don't see it happening. I really just don't. Without Kamara, possibly without Ingram, who do they have on the offensive side of the ball? The Bills are going to score. We all know that. I don't think that the Saints are going to be able to score with the Bills. Similar to last week with the Saints, they weren't able to keep pace with the Eagles. They for sure will not be able to keep pace with the Bills.
All right. Thank you, Alpha. Let's go to question number 3, Wizard. Okay, this is a question from @Ramstein_Red. Donnie, there are no outstanding teams in the NFL this year. Could the Vikings plus 6,000 win the Super Bowl?
I mean, it's a good chance they can, because you're right. There's no dominant teams. But at the same time, as we like to say, in order to win the Super Bowl, you have to make sure that you're getting into the playoffs. If you ended the season now or take a look at who's going to make it in, they are talented enough to do that. The question is, can they win on the road? But if you are getting a sweet price, also, we're gamblers here, right? So if you take a 60-1 price here and say, hey, I'm going to hold that ticket to the Super Bowl, probably not going to cash it, but you might get some great hedging options, even if they win one football game in the first wild card round here. So legitimate bet here. If you're getting a high price there and you can ride it and you think they make the playoffs, you could probably hedge out with some pretty good profit here. So it's a good look there for the Vikings. Do I think they can win the Super Bowl? Probably not. But can you make some money at 60-1? I think you can.
Alpha Dog Bets, I think you instantly shook your head. There was no way. You and I are in a group text, and, I talk about the Vikings all the time. One of the most underrated teams. I think their losses is a combined 18 points only. But it's that quarterback, man. Like Kirk Cousins, I can't really back him.
Yep.
I mean, Kirk Cousins is like a better version of Danny Dimes to me. He's not a game changer. He started the season really, really hot, but that game against the Cowboys and Cooper Rush and not being able to win that game, that kind of turned it for me. And he hasn't really been that good since. He had a nice throw or two to Justin Jefferson against the Green Bay Packers last week. But once it gets really tough, there's no way I can back Kirk Cousins. Alpha Dog Bets, how do you feel about the Vikings?
I agree. I agree with Donnie's point, though. At 60-1, you could get some good hedging options if they are able to get into the playoffs. I don't think defensively they have the team that'll go all the way, and I don't think at the quarterback position, let's say you need a 2-minute drive, you're down, you're going up against, let's say, Tom Brady in the NFC Championship game. I don't see Kirk Cousins driving them down the field in a 2-minute drill to get it done. I don't think he has that gene. So for me, I do not think they have a chance to win the Super Bowl, but you could make some money hedging out when the playoffs start if they are able to get in. That was a great point by Donnie.
All right, beautiful. Let's go, Wizard. One final question here. Okay, from Wicked Picks, is Dallas -9 worth taking further up to -12 or -13? I think he's asking about alternate spreads.
Offline.
I'll start with Donnie. Do you see a lot of value in the Cowboys winning by 2 touchdowns?
I actually don't see the value in that. And the reason being is if we took this game back to 2 weeks ago, the Atlanta performance that you have, not to say they can still beat a team like Atlanta, but I'm talking about the health. If I was getting a healthy CeeDee Lamb, a healthy Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, Zeke, Pollard, and also Dak Prescott, there would be value in that, because we don't know if the Vegas Raiders have given up on the season. Their performances over the past couple weeks have said, like, hey, maybe they're really not going to hang around in this AFC playoff race anymore. So I would say right now, no. But if I had a healthy Dallas Cowboys team, there might be some value. But the way they might be constructed tomorrow, just with Michael Gallup at wide receiver, I can't take that 12 or 13 at this point, guys.
Alpha Dog Bets, the Raiders are currently sitting at 5-5. They were looking really pretty. They started the season off hot. I think they were 3-0 or 4-0, one of the last undefeated teams. They are on a 3-game losing streak. So do you think there's value here with Dallas winning by double digits?
I do not. I also think it's hard to compare the early season Raiders with the today Raiders. Obviously, we know all the situations that happen with them. They have no more coach. They don't have their best receiver. They don't have one of their better cornerbacks. A lot of issues have happened with the team, and there's so much outside noise with the Raiders. It's just so hard to predict what they're going to do right now, but I do not like taking it. I'm on the side of teasing Dallas under for the security, not taking by beating it by more points. So for me, there's no value in doing that, but I still do like Dallas tomorrow.
All right, beautiful guys. Before we close the show, I'll ask each of you guys, one final statement or one closing remark. It is Thanksgiving week, so if you guys want to say something you're thankful for, or shout out a family or a friend, please go ahead. I'll start with mine. I'm very, very fortunate to have a lot of my family here locally in the Dallas area. We're hosting tonight. We're also going to host tomorrow. So having 2 little ones, I'm very appreciative of that. I'll start with Donnie next.
Yeah, I live a charmed life. I'm thankful for a lot of things. Great wife, great kid, great life at this point. And hear us talking about sports, like the day before Thanksgiving, being on the air, working for great companies here, particularly with Bookmakers Review. It's a wonderful thing. And I'm just thankful for everything I can because, again, just coming into this business, sometimes it's a rough thing going forward and trying to make your name. But you guys got a lot of passion. I got passion. It's fun. We can all come together. I'm just thankful for everything that's been provided to us when we can come on the air and talk football for a living. It's wonderful stuff, man. Love it.
Beautiful. And Alpha Dog Bets, I believe you're going to Atlanta next week, right, to celebrate Thanksgiving?
Yes, I am. I'm seeing my dad's side of the family, but I'm definitely thankful. So a lot of you guys know I lived in Florida for the last 10 years of my life, and I'm originally from New York. So I moved back up here, and I am spending tomorrow with my mother and father for the first time in 12 years on Thanksgiving Day. So I'm very excited to spend the day with the family. Also, as Donnie said, very blessed we get to do this for a living. Who has it better than this? Get to talk sports with the boys. So very, very blessed, very thankful. And I hope everyone out there has an absolutely perfect Thanksgiving, spend time with their loved ones and family, and have the perfect day.
Yes, that is the perfect close. Thank you so much, Donnie. Thank you so much, Alpha. And thank you. Big appreciation to Bookmakers Review. Check us out on YouTube. Like and subscribe to our channel. And check out all the links in the description for more NFL content. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good one. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.